Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to the channel. Guys, welcome to our first official match reaction of the new season. Barcelona, they played the game against Getafe. Unfortunately, it ended in a nil-nil draw. Barcelona, they only get a point in Getafe. They were not able to get the victory. As you guys can see, Barcelona are now 10th in the La Liga table. Getafe are 11th. We are 2 points behind Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they did get the victory yesterday, and so they have 3 points. This is how Barcelona lined up in the season and in the first match of the new season. Alejandro Balde as our left back, Ter Stegen in goal, Christensen, Kunde, Araujo, Romeo, Frankie de Jong, Gundogan, Pedri, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. This was our starting lineup. Both Christensen and Gundogan, two players who I was a little bit unskeptical whether they would start or not because there were rumors about injuries. These were two players who I did not know that were going to start, but they did start. Christensen, he did come off in the second half for Abde. Gundogan, he played 79 minutes, which he did play a lot. Both had decent games. But guys, remember, if you guys want to join and give your thoughts about the match, feel free. Just go on my Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast, and then you'll be just click on the link, the streamer link, and then you'll be able to join as well. But I thought overall the performance from Barcelona it was very poor. We didn't see that much attacking prowess up front. I thought our best player, as you can see, was Kunde, possibly also Balde. Or Romeo was also good. Rafinha, up until that yellow card, up until that red card, actually, he was one of our best players. He got a yellow card in the 38th minute, and then in the 42nd minute, he got a red card for what I believe was such a stupid challenge. Like the Getafe players, I know that they were hitting Barcelona a lot and everything. Just however, it was something that should have been avoided. Um, Rafinha just like fell into it completely. But SJ, what's up? Can you hear me?
Hello, brother. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, SJ. What's up? What's up?
Yeah,
SJ,
bro. Not
frustrating
that good.
match.
Not that good, bro. I'm not that good. Like with that match. Like, how much is your stream? Like, are you near completion?
Yeah, yeah. What's it called? Are you talking about the game?
No, no. Near your stream or just started?
Well, yeah. It just started. It just started right now.
Oh,
I'm thinking of making like just like 15 minutes or something like that, 20 minutes. Match
yeah,
reaction. Why? What's up?
yeah, yeah. No, I thought you were closing the stream. I entered late. I
Oh
That's why
no
I
no
asked you.
no 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 worries, no worries. No, I did. The stream has just started basically.
Yeah, yeah.
But actually, what were your thoughts on the whole Dolphin match?
Absolutely disgraceful officiating. Absolutely disgraceful team. Getafe is, bro.
Yeah,
How they are not here to play football? Let's be very honest here.
bro, that seemed like a WWE match. Like the amount of times that they were fouling our players. Let me see the amount of fouls. Um,
32.
insane. And look at all these player substitutions.
The thing is,
These are the players that
that's a
came on.
penalty by the way. That's a penalty by the way.
Uh
How
huh.
is that not is not beyond me?
Yeah, you're talking about this instance right here. This.
Yeah,
Uh
this
huh.
is chest. This is
Uh huh.
chest.
Right here. And guys, if you guys don't know, in this instance right here, they say that Gavi, this ball touched his hand, but you can see from this photo, it touches his chest. Just however, what they do is they look it from the angle to the side, and then they say, "Hey, Gavi, he got a handball." And this touches his arm, and that's why it isn't a penalty. However, if we look at this in the first half, the Getafe player touches the hand. This is from the rebound from the other Getafe player. I have no
Yeah.
idea how this isn't a penalty. Just the officiating on tonight's match was absolutely atrocious. I completely agree, SJ.
No, the officiating is obviously like this against us. Every season we have to like do this, and obviously because of their best goalkeeper and their best center back is injured out of ACL, they'll do everything to screw us. The thing is, bro. I think we need to ask serious questions about Lewandowski now. There is a serious debate.
Hey, SJ, I was just about to ask you, like, hey, what are your thoughts on Lewandowski? Because I was looking at Lewandowski like, like very closely this game, and I'm telling you, Lewandowski did not have a fantastic game, and this is worrying signs because this is not just like one game. Lewandowski has been worrying us like ever since that World Cup. Um, like our attack isn't that great, and if we have our best, like our number nine, and he's putting in these type of performances, it is very worrying. He reminds me of Luis Suarez in like his final seasons at Barcelona.
Thing is, I think let's start from the beginning where this match started. I think actually Rafinha got that red card, but we actually found it a suitable role from him today because we made 2 or 3 runs in behind and he actually found it. But thing is, he couldn't finish. That's the one thing I expect from him, to finish the chances. He didn't finish the chance, and I think that was frustrating. He fell into the trap of Getafe to just he fell into the trap and got a red card. The problem is, if you actually look at this match graphic, Lewandowski had a 6.0 after playing the whole game. That's absolutely disgusting. And bro, Abde didn't look like Barca material, to be honest. He couldn't make the final pass a lot of times. I don't want to be harsh. I think it was Xavi's fault as well, playing Pedri a lot higher than he should. Pedri's position in the first half was like literally near Lewandowski.
Uh-huh. I was looking at Pedri, and most of the time I saw Pedri playing as like a secondary striker, which didn't make sense because like you want
Yeah,
Pedri to be on the ball as much as possible. I'm then thinking like, hey, why do you have Pedri so up forward? Bring him back a little bit just so like he can dictate the play a little bit. Um,
yeah.
but
Pedri was too high for Pedri was too high, bro. And how are you expecting runs in behind from Pedri? Pedri does not have pace. Like
uh-huh.
Pedri was like literally with the defenders trying to make runs in behind. That won't work. Like he's not that kind of a player. I think it was an atrocious game. Even tactically, I didn't feel, and Balde didn't look that good to me even today because there was a left winger. So I think he will have to adjust his game when we'll start playing with a proper 4-3-3. So I think Balde will learn that eventually because he's a top player. I think going forward for us.
Hmm.
But today he could not, like, because he did not have the entire flank, and we were playing with a left winger in the second half. He couldn't find his own. Did you remember that moment that he got confused with Abde for the ball?
Yeah, exactly. Right there. That was just miscommunication from both of these players. But for example, out of this performance, it wasn't too worrying because he did show flashes of brilliance. For example, he
Yeah,
was like one of the only players who's creating something. But SJ, do you like? I'm actually worried about Lewandowski because like this is worrying right now because this isn't just a one-off. Do you think that he's going to continue this performance like throughout the entire season, or do you think that he's going to improve because we need Lewandowski if we want to compete for titles.
bro. Now there is thing is, first of all, I don't think Lewandowski after this season will be at FC Barcelona.
Okay.
Um, because I feel that his performances and his decline, I think, is starting. So I don't think he'll be our starting striker. And I hope we have done our scouting well with Victor Roque and he has to perform from next season because I don't think Lewandowski will play as a starting striker next season. And with the high wages he has, and I think the club will try to just say him that you can take that Saudi offer or that MLS offer. And I don't think he'll. Do you think him continuing this season again next season?
No, no, I don't see him continuing like from next season. Just however, one thing, who is Barcelona going to replace him with? Because I know Vitor Roque is coming in, but do you think Vitor Roque is ready to be Barcelona's starting striker? Like I haven't, I have seen very good performances from Vitor Roque. However, I haven't seen him at the top of European football. We have to wait until January when he comes in to see how he
Yes,
does. Because
that's
it,
true. That's
mhm.
true. That's true. That's true. The thing is, like the decline which I'm seeing, he's not able to connect, he's not able to win long balls, he's not able to play as the striker who holds up play and then links up the play. He's losing ball, and sometimes when the crosses come in, he's not even in the penalty box to tap these crosses in. Like the overall gameplay from Lewandowski, I don't think is up to the mark, and I think the decline is like real. And the worrying thing is, I hope it's a mental issue, something like that, because if it's a physical decline, And if it's a physical decline, then bro, how will we recover from that physical decline this season? Physical
Mhm.
decline is inevitable. Like, I don't know, bro. I'm very worried about Lewandowski.
Uh-huh. And apart from that, his touches. I don't know if you
Yeah,
noticed, but every single time he's receiving the ball, he's losing it basically. Lewandowski is so poor; he kills any attack. In fact, he has gotten worse from the end of last season. I will 100% agree because one of the things that you could say that Lewandowski was the best at is like he was a killer in the box. You give him the ball inside the box and he finishes that. He puts it in the back of the net. However, he hasn't been in the box. Like you see him dropping into midfield, picking up the ball, and whenever you see either Abde, Rafinha, or even Dembele during the preseason, and he's putting in these crosses, Lewandowski is not there. So like Lewandowski's best attribute is just put the ball in the net, and he's not doing that. So if Lewandowski's best attribute is not being used, like why are you there? And another comment: this midfield is not productive. Um,
I disagree. I
you
disagree.
you, you disagree? Why?
There were a lot of passes in the second half. Do you remember Abde got a lot of chances, bro? There were two chances Abde had to bury. You had to bury that chances in a nil-nil game. And Pedri made those chances. I don't think midfield is a worry. I think De Jong was again the best player, according
Uh
to
huh.
me, because
I
he
oh
was cat.
I
Yeah, yeah,
also think that Oro Romeo in the midfield. I
yeah. He
thought
was
he
good.
played well. I thought he
Yeah,
played
he was good.
well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was good.
yeah.
Uh,
Continue.
Yeah, with Gundogan, I think he'll find his feet. He's too much. He's too good a player to not find his feet. So I don't think Gundogan is a worry. I think Gundogan, De Jong, and Romeo and Pedri is actually the best midfield we have, and I think this is actually a good midfield. But look, Elias, if we are actually being honest to ourselves, we need a world-class winger in this team. Yes, and that
Yeah.
that world-class winger, and not talking about any 19-year-old, 18-year-old, a
Uh-huh.
world-class winger. Like I'm telling you right now, Gabriel Martinelli will change this team.
Gabriel
Martinelli will,
Martinez.
yeah, he'll change
But
this
but
team.
but but his price is too high.
No, no,
Like
I'm just
as
saying an
much as I think
example.
like yeah, I wish Martinelli was in the team. They were productive when they were like 10 minutes. When the 10 attackers subbed on. Um, But I completely agree with you, SJ. Our attack was absolutely atrocious this game. And you saw like the lack of quality in the attack. I think Rafinha at times, like he was making runs in the behind. And there was this one chance where Rafinha does go in behind and Kunde was able to get a long ball to Rafinha. And Rafinha gets a shot off. But other than that, what other like big instances do you remember? Were just like clear cut chances. I do remember the one Abde chance that you were talking about, where Abde does get the ball, and he like first time shoots it, where Gundogan was also available. I'm thinking like, hey, instead of maybe like taking the shot there, you could have passed it. But other than that, Barcelona like they weren't able to produce anything in attack, and that's worrying because um if we can't break down low block teams, how are we gonna beat these teams? And so SJ, are you looking to bring in any other signings, for example? Because Barcelona is linked with Lo Celso. The Neymar deal isn't happening because
Lo
apparently he's
Celso will do nothing in this team. I'm telling you, Xavi, please. Let's not do. Let's not waste the club's money, bro. Come on, let's not do this. Come on. And the thing is, Lo Celso will change nothing. Save the money
okay.
and go for a world class left winger next season. None of this nonsense about. You look, we are not, if we read historically, we are not just a club that produces from La Masia every time. Sometimes we buy. Cruyff was bought literally on this day 50 years ago. I think it was a stat which was trending on
Mhm.
Twitter today. Like sometimes you have to buy, bro. And I think midfield, there is no signing needed in midfield. We should sign Fresneda and save the money. Next season, go for a world class right winger or a world class left winger. And none of this nonsense. Because let's be honest. Look, Elias, do you think our
Yeah.
midfield is can compete? I think it can, because I think our midfield is actually quality.
I do believe our midfield is quality. For example, when you look at Pedri, when you look at Frankie De Jong, and you look at Gundogan, I think you have very quality players in there. And on top of that, you have Or Romeo. I'm just thinking that maybe our attack is just
Yeah. So
lackluster.
talk about our defense. Do you think our defense is good or not good in terms of
I
Europe?
Ooh. Okay, see, here's the thing, because when you say in Europe, that's a little bit, I would say, misleading, because our best defense wasn't available
No, I agree.
for the
Uh,
European games.
I'm just saying in terms of quality, like you said, our midfield is quality. I think our defense is also quality. I don't distrust this defense. For
The,
me, this attack is dead. There is no
the,
attacker in our team.
mm-hmm, yeah. I will. Well, but Mateo, looking on this comment, Rafinha, you can't make an error like that. Getafe, they were playing this type of game. And Bordalas, he, like, he plays that like Simeone style. Like, Getafe are always like very difficult to break down. They are a dirty team. They make fouls after fouls and everything like that. And Rafinha, he basically fell for it. Rafinha got angry, and he basically grabbed that yellow card, and that could have cost us the game if not for that second red card from Matas, the other Getafe player.
You
But
know, Elias. The thing is,
yeah,
against a team like Getafe, what you need is look. We hate him, but we need a player like Vinicius. Look at
Vinicius,
Vinicius. Yeah,
Well,
what
I
will
completely
Vinicius do?
agree.
Yeah, what will Vinicius do? Vinicius will do nothing. He'll beat his man. He'll go to the byline, spam crosses. That's what he'll do, and that's what creates chaos. We don't have a player who can consistently do that. Sometimes they fail on their take-ons. Sometimes the touch is too heavy. And bro, Yamal came and was literally the best attacker in our team in 5 seconds.
Mhm.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's because he's one of the few, and I believe this is also why um Ade came on, is because unlike Rafinha, he's one of those players who hugs the byline and actually try to beat their man, and they don't try to cut in. Like,
Yeah,
Rafinha is the type of player to cut in. No, you want player to beat your man. Hey, beat your man and play in across and everything, and that's what Vinicius is best at. Like, this is what makes Rafinha like the one of the best, and if not the best winger in the world. His pace and his ability to beat the man. Um, and
bro,
it's so
I'll tell you,
frustrating.
our scouting is so trash. I'm telling you, if you if Dembele was running out his contract and you needed a Dembele like profile, can't you scout properly? Rafinha is not Dembele type profile. Like, what is the scouting team doing? That's not me saying Rafinha is a bad player, but Rafinha is not the kind of player we need with Lewandowski up top. We need a player who will take on his man and then spam
Hmm.
crosses. We don't have at the right wing. Rafinha always cuts inside. Rafinha always cuts inside. And then on the left wing, we are without a left winger since Neymar left. Let's be very honest here.
Hmm. I looking at this game, I feel like our attack, it needs reinforcements. I still, yeah, exactly. We need wingers that can score goals, 10 to 15 goals each, to share the goals amongst the attackers. I completely agree. Because after the loss of Dembele, because I understand that some people are angry at Dembele. However, we do have to remember that at the start of the season, he was very good. Um, he contributed in some very good goals. He was racking up the numbers, and we need wingers who can actually contribute. And so I tell Barcelona, hey, go and look for a quality attacker. However, I don't think that we have the funds. And on top of that, at times you also notice that we do need a right back. I felt at times Balde was our only outlet in one of our fullbacks. At times, Araujo was bombing up the forward, but you could tell that, hey, he's uncomfortable up there. And this is why Barcelona is looking at Cancelo.
How is that
Uh,
not a penalty? Like, disgraceful officiating continues.
I know. Look at this. Gavi's handball call is invented. The referee cost us the game. He has to explain himself. I agree that Xavi is correct here. How also, like, Xavi, you have to look at the Barcelona and say, hey, we were not great today. Barcelona did not create that many chances against Getafe. Barcelona should have done way better. Some players did not perform, such as Lewandowski and everything. Um, the defense is
Rafinha
good.
lost his head.
The problem is pressing effectively at high intensity without tiring. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a 35-year-old player up top. But actually, what were you saying?
Rafinha lost his head, bro. Again, if we get 10 men, then obviously it's trouble. What is Rafinha doing? Overreacting.
Yeah. Yeah.
My days. And
It's so frustrating.
why are Hitafe players allowed this kind of nonsense, bro? They were like literally fouling from the beginning.
Oh my gosh. Um.
And bro,
eh,
Xavi, do you find a lot of attacking patterns? And this is the frustration that a core portion of Barcelona fan base has against Xavi. There are they don't find attacking patterns what we are trying to do. Like sometimes. the team just looks listless. Like,
Mm.
what is the solution to the problem? Like, when Ansu came in, actually he did well. Look, Ansu did well, I think, in the half spaces. He was running and he was finding Yamal. Like, I think identity is needed. Like, with if you watch Arsenal, say what you want about him, they have spent money, but there is a pattern to their madness. Like how Odegaard plays, how then Martinelli plays, Saka and Jesus up top. I The only criticism I have towards Xavi is obviously his talent ID, and secondly, the patterns I sometimes feel is not there. We are just roaming around in the midfield, and we are too slow, bro. Don't you find we are too slow? We are just mugging around,
I I
looking at.
I I think that's also like a problem of personnel. Like when you look at the squad, I don't think that we have rapid players or anything like that. And I think that's something that's very needed at the very high level. When you look at most like every other team, players are rapid. When you look at Real Madrid, you have Vinicius, you have Rodrigo, players who are absolutely rapid on the ball. When you look at Manchester City, Holland, he's fast on the ball, etc. Um, but at the very high level, you need players who can beat them at Bayern. They have Sane, they have they used to have
Koman.
Mane, Koeman, Gnabry, players who can who are rapid. But actually, I want to ask you this question before we wrap up the
Hmm.
video. But do you think this result is worrying or not? Because this is the very first game of the season. We do have to keep in mind. And last season we did also have a 0-0 draw at the Camp Nou against Rajo Valladolid. However, Real Madrid they did win the very first game. So do you think this is worrying for Barcelona, or do you think like, hey, just this is just like the first game of the season, nothing to worry about. Let's move on and let's get better. What do you think?
I don't feel that, like, if we don't win this La Liga, where our nearest competitor have lost their center back, their best goalkeeper, and their marquee signing is not coming apparently, Mbappe. If Xavi somehow doesn't win it, and I think it's a disgrace. I don't think how we lose this La Liga, because look, let's be honest. Real Madrid are going to again struggle. Like, I I'm answering your question in a way like I don't think we need to be that good to win La Liga. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
Like,
mhm.
we don't need to
Uh,
be world class to win La Liga this time. I feel because of the injuries that Madrid have, because they are both gone for the season. The season is over. Courtois and Militao. Their
yeah,
season
and
is done.
they both of them have torn their ACL. That means that they lost basically two of their best players. Courtois was at times their best players, and at times the best goalkeeper in the world. And you could say the same thing for Eder Militao. Two huge players are not going to be playing for the season. And on top of it, you have Carlo Ancelotti, who has never defended his league title.
Yeah,
And
so
he was
I don't feel we need to be that good, but I do feel that, look, you can't bench Lewandowski. He's the highest paid player. He's the marquee player, and that's why I always say signings should not be made by the president. This was a presidential signing, and now look how where we are. But the thing is, I think we need to get Victor Roque in January. He will reintegrate in the team. I think that
yeah.
will be a good addition to this team.
Hmm.
I do find it a bit worrying that the patterns are not there. We sometimes look listless. We are just roaming around and waiting for the Frankie de Jong's over the top ball that comes. And Rafinha needs to improve. First of all, his temperament, and second of all, he needs to somehow beat his man also sometimes, not always
Uh
cut
huh.
inside.
Uh huh.
Lewandowski has to improve this play. I think midfield was good, as you can see here. I think midfield was good. I think defense was also good. And by the way, substituting Christensen was very risky, but De Jong played that role well.
He got
Yeah,
outcoached. This is from Mateo. I think the worry thing is Xavi not learning his lessons. The game against Rajo, he got outcoached. Last season against Getafe, we couldn't break them down. Same here. He's not learning from the past. I completely agree. But so something to keep in mind is that he is a young coach. This is his second season, basically his second full season um, at the very high level.
I want to respond to that.
Okay, we'll respond to that.
Yeah, the thing is, if you watched us under Valverde, do you remember those boring days? I used to sleep a
Oh
lot
yeah,
under Valverde,
yeah,
and Valverde had Messi, Suarez, but we
yeah.
still struggled in these grounds. So
Uh-huh.
I don't think this is a Xavi problem. In fact, like, he is to blame for some things because I don't see the patterns. But I don't think I think as an institution, as a club, as a style of play, we have been struggling for at least 5 or 6 years. Last time I actually watched Barcelona dominating any stadium, home or away, was under Enrique, according to me. Under Enrique, home or away, we went there, and okay, you can say MSN, but still, we went there and we dominated the game. We had patterns. Under Valverde, even he had Messi. Do you remember those games where we won 1-0, Paulinho scored a goal, or Messi somehow scored a
Oh
goal?
yeah, yeah.
Messi scored a free kick.
Yeah, at that times it was just Messi carrying the club. And bro, what signing guys, if you guys don't know Paulinho, he was a player that we signed from China. And at the time I remember why were we signing 50 million for this player from China? But like, hey, he played very good in that 2017-2018 season. Um
Yeah,
and he came in clutch for most of the times. And I remember actually him scoring against Getafe. I remember that actually.
yeah.
Um
So the thing is, I think this whole problem has started from Neymar, and I think
yeah,
this is
man.
a deeper issue which we have never really addressed, and that is a proper left winger who will just take like Vinicius. How much will Vinicius change this team? Just tell me. Vinicius will
Oh my God, Vinicius to this team would do wonders. Vinicius, like as much as like I don't like Vinicius because of his character, like I do admit that he's a world class player. I don't like
Yes.
Vinicius at all, but I recognize his talent. He would absolutely revolutionize this team. Um, but just running off of the match reactions, guys. Remember, I will be making like a live match reaction every single time after the game. I post a link on Twitter at Kool Podcast. If you guys want to join and also talk about the game, feel free. After the game, I will be making that match reaction, so make sure to join. And obviously, every game I will be doing a watch along. But question for Mateo: who is that left world class winger left that we can afford? There's very few.
So not
I
this
don't think.
window.
Yeah, may, possibly not even next window. Maybe. I'm thinking. Well, we did like activate like another economic lever. However, just I don't know if we're gonna spend
I
that
think if
money
we
on.
ship, I think if we ship off Lewandowski next season, that will be a huge chunk of wage bill gone. Vitor Roque will be integrated in 6 months. We'll have our
Mhm.
right wing sorted. Although I would prefer selling Rafinha as well, but let's not go there. At least with the right wing, there is Rafinha and Yamal, so you have two options there. In the striker, you have to trust Roque, and you get rid of Lewandowski, and you just don't make any signing. Just sign a world class left winger,
Okay,
and
okay, but who would be that left winger? Because I'm thinking like, hey, who's a world class winger that we can bring in? Um,
I have always stated that either you look, we will make a big money signing sooner rather than later.
uh-huh.
Big money signing, like I think it's just waiting. I think this window, but maybe not even next window, maybe next to next window, because
Okay.
our revenue will be less because of playing in that stadium, ticket sales. But I think we will bring in a world class left winger. I think we can afford it, but we'll have to wait. I think till we have the money. I would like Martinelli. I think that guy has the huge.
Martinelli.
Yeah, he has the
Okay.
potential. I think I always think he'll be at Barcelona in 2 or 3 years because I feel this team just screams of a left winger who can beat his man.
Mhm. I did. I was thinking of those two precisely. Those two players, Mateo. I was thinking of maybe Leao or Kvaratskhelia from the Serie A.
Kvaratskhelia can't
I
be
would,
coming if with Napoli president negotiating, bro.
yeah. Like we would need like tons of money. I'm also thinking maybe hey Sane. That would be another option. From Bayern Munich, he would be an option. Maybe Koeman. But
No, I think they're too old.
yeah, but exactly. But like, I'm not thinking a player like who can be like long term. I'm thinking like left winger who could come in and do a shift. Because at this moment, like the left wingers,
Is dead.
they're yeah,
Our
they
left wing
like
is dead.
yeah, there aren't that many. Um, but hopefully, Barcelona they sort themselves out. Hopefully, this is just like a one off game,
Yeah,
and we don't continue it. But Barcelona's next game is actually hold on, let me see. I think it's against Scottish. Mitoma is an option. However, I don't think that that he's like a world class level winger. I think
No,
if he
he's not
does,
a finished product. We need a finished product
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
Enough of this development nonsense. Just get a world class left winger. Lewandowski's off, and I think Yamal will be that next guy. I just do unless and until he gets a serious injury, I think Yamal will carry our right wing for years.
Uh-huh. Who do you guys think we will sign before the one? Well, I think we will sign Cancelo. I do think that Cancelo will be the last signing that we're gonna make. Because we desperately need a right back. Um, and Cancelo is getting closer and closer to Barcelona. I think Cancelo he will improve our attack on that right hand side because Rafinha is a player who likes to cut inside. But hopefully we do see more players coming in and Barcelona do improve. But guys, our next game actually, lastly, our next game is going to be against Cadiz away from home. Yeah, exactly. Cadiz are another Park the Bus team, but this time it's
Is
going to
this
be at the Camp
away?
Nou. It's going to be a little bit different. Um, but SJ, just final thoughts before we round off. You want to give anything
Yeah,
else?
I think on the positives, I think Kunde was really good. Kunde
Yeah.
cleared everything, and I felt Balde in the rating it's 7.4, but I think he struggled a bit today. Araujo was a rock as usual. Pedri in the second half became Pedri, what we know, because he became deeper. How does Xavi even think of playing Pedri that high? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, he's not Felix from Benfica, like a second striker. He's not a second
Hmm.
striker. He's a midfielder.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
think that was a very very strange choice. Rafinha, I think, was at least actually good before he got sent off. With
Hmm.
Lewandowski, bro, I think we are on fine margins. I don't know where we go from here with
Uh-huh.
Lewandowski. What do you think?
I completely agree with everything you said. Lewandowski wasn't the best performance, very worrying. I thought Pedri, why are you playing as a secondary striker? Rafinha, he did well before that red card. Kunde, phenomenal. Frankie De Jong, also good. Romeo, fantastic. Balde wasn't the best performance, but he played well. And next weekend, we're going to be playing against another Park the Bus team. But guys, thank you guys all for watching. Remember, on Twitter, I post a link at Colade Podcast. If you guys want to join, feel free to join. But guys, thank you, SJ, for hopping on.